I am Bonte Hill. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum set the tone. Good perimeter defense by the Boston Celtics, and the Warriors just could not hit anything from deep.
All right, Bonte, you just went from watching the Warriors playing against the worst team in the NBA, in the Washington Wizards, to now arguably the best team in the East, in the Boston Celtics. And it's very clear where the Warriors stand, especially without their stars, without Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Al Horford, Moses Moody. The list goes on and on. The Warriors, the Celtics, they set the tone. Jaylen Brown, first quarter, out the gates, 19 points. I mean, I thought he is the MVP. He's showing himself that he's playing at MVP level right now. This team, they're very well connected. They're moving the basketball. Jason Tatum comes into the game, same thing, 15 points in the first half. All these things are clicking right now for the Boston Celtics. They're one of the best teams offensively, one of the best teams defensively, and just the way that they were able to carve out the Warriors tonight, this is what championship basketball looks like.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. The NBA is a first quarter league, and the Celtics came out and established themselves. They won that first quarter by 13. Thought the Warriors made a really good run in that second quarter. It was tied 27-27 in that second quarter, so they're down 13. Second half, it seemed like the Celtics just went about their business methodically, getting the shots they want. But Jaylen Brown set the tone. He was 8 for 9 at one point and really set the tone for the Celtics. I thought the Warriors played well. I thought they played hard, but you just look at the stats, they just didn't make enough shots. And I thought a lot of open threes. And we said coming into this game, the Celtics, the Warriors, and the Charlotte Hornets, three teams that rely 40% of their scoring comes from three-point range. With the Celtics defense so strong within the two-point area and in the paint, it was imperative they knocked down those threes. They didn't make them tonight. But points off turnovers, they turned the Celtics over, which they're the best in taking care of the basketball. Second chance point. They did a lot of good things, but there's a reason they call the NBA a make or miss league. If you don't make shots, it's going to be tough, especially on the road.
Warriors scored the first 6 points of the third quarter to cut it to 7, but it was all Celtics from that point on as they extended their lead. They won by 21 points in this one, but it all started in the first quarter, and Jaylen Brown, as we mentioned, he set the tone in that first quarter. We'll roll the tape here. His shot chart, 8 of 9. And what did he do, Fezzi? He attacked the basket, settled for 1 3-point shot, which he made, but he went right at the Dubs defense there. All those points coming in the paint.
You said he made the one shot, so he didn't settle for it. It's just like, all right, let me give you all a break real quick and take this shot from the three-point line. Jaylen Brown was making every tough shot. I thought the Warriors, different guys were on him. He gave everybody that work. He was going by defenders. Obviously, you can see that strength, that physicality. It's really a far cry from the Jaylen Brown of a few years ago that they would try to sag off of to just shoot the basketball. Now he's worked on his game. This is a guy who is much improved. This team has relied on him for scoring all year long since Jason Tatum was out, and he has taken his game to a whole new level. Really improved his driving, averaging 19 drives a game, the most he's ever averaged in his career.
I think he should be highly considered for MVP of the league this year. And the weakest part of his game, and he can do it, but he's 34% from three-point range. He doesn't go there much. He leads the league in drives, 19 drives per game, and in turn he gets to the free throw line 9 times. He goes 9 for 9. So he knows exactly what the Celtics need from him. It also seems like he's figured out that the mid-range game, and when it's open, is a very good shot, despite what some analytical people would say.
MVP, right? We talk about MVP, and it feels like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will repeat as the NBA's MVP. But should Jaylen Brown get a lot more buzz for that award? Think about the Celtics. If Fitz brought it up on the broadcast, we didn't expect the Celtics to be in this position. We thought it would be a retooling year for them, yet they're 2.5 games behind the Pistons, and they look like probably the most complete team right now in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I think the entire story of Jaylen Brown revolves around last May when Jason Tatum tore his Achilles tendon in Madison Square Garden. And in general, the NBA thought it was going to be an off year for the Celtics. They'd probably be in the lottery. The exact opposite happened. And I think Jaylen Brown, not only the numbers he's putting up, but the way he kept that team together, galvanized them, empowered his teammates, included them. And now that Jason Tatum's back, I think that entire story should get way more attention. He should get more attention for MVP candidacy.
I mean, even tonight, for example, Jaylen Brown, 32 points. He had 19 points in the first quarter. What he does the next quarter is he becomes a distributor because he understands the flow of the game. The reason why they're in the position they're in right now in the Boston Celtics is because they've been able to get role players to step up. He's getting guys involved. His drive is opening up plays for other guys. Sam Howell, whoever it is who's on the floor, all these guys get open shots because of the drives from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But Jaylen Brown right now, he's playing on a different level. His ability to be in the post, his strength, he's been in the gym. You can see him, going past guys and one. It feels like the contact is not even there. He is playing at a different level, and I feel like he's not getting enough credit for the work that he's putting in for this team.
And doing it on both ends of the floor.
That's right.
He's a great individual defender for the Boston Celtics. And then you add into Jason Tatum, which is better to trade out there. How many teams can say, hey, we have an all-NBA player coming back after missing the first 62 games due to that Achilles tendon?
I can think of one.
Who's that?
The Warriors. They're going to add a player.
That's right.
All-NBA talent.
Stephen Curry, no doubt, but it may be too little too late. The Celtics are thinking championship now, and he set the tone. Brown and Tatum combined for 28 of the Celtics' 36 first-quarter points. They combined for 56 tonight. I scored the starters by themselves. A double-double for Jason Tatum. Ties the season high, and the efficiency numbers, Mully, are getting better for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, each game you see a little bit more of the Jason Tatum we've come to know. His efficiency numbers, you said, Bonte, looks like he's moving really well, gaining confidence in his body. So like you said, to add a player of his caliber to an already fully established Celtic team, this looks like the favorite to come out of the East.
Even more than just – this is now a two-headed monster. Jason Tatum during this game, you could see him coming off of ball screens. You sag off him just a little bit, he's shooting that three, and that thing is all net. 5 for 11 from the three-point line, the size, his ability to drive. But what I see from him is he's doing more all-around game is the focus for him right now. He had 10 rebounds. But you see him when he comes in the game, he's looking to make the right play. He's driving when the guys collapse because he's getting back his defender. He's kicking out to open shooters. This is how this team is going to win, and this is how they're going to play. If you have both those guys playing that all-around game, including everybody, the sky's the limit for the Boston Celtics.
And all these things we've talked about, you also have to give credit to Joe Mazzulla, because this team, they play a very similar style the last few years, but I felt like in the past few seasons, it seemed like very stagnant. But he put some wrinkles in, some flash screens, a little bit more off-ball movement, and just seems like there's more players involved. For a while there, it seemed it was just Tatum and Brown dominating the basketball. Seems like they're much tougher team to guard as a unit.
Yeah, their offense looks a lot more diverse this season as opposed to the championship season.
Crazy. Like, we just kept watching back and forth the championship season from just a few years ago. And it could be the same offense a little bit, right? A little tweak here and there, but it's way more efficient. The way that they're getting to their spots, they just seem like veteran players that know exactly what they're supposed to be. Winning a championship does that to you as well, the confidence. But what I see from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, just that improvement in their game, not forcing shots, getting to the spots that they want to get to. Jaylen Brown getting to the middle of the paint every single time when he wanted to. Jason Tatum, same thing, coming off the ball screen, reading the defense, knowing if I'm open, I'm going to take the shot. But if not, I'm just going to drive to the middle of the paint, go get a layup. And the more athletic or the more healthy he looks on the court, the more healthy he is, the better this team is going to be.
Well said there, Fezzi Fells. The Celtics score 60 points on twos tonight and shoot 57% from twos. Of course, they hit the three-point shot, but it's about the Golden State Warriors that they've lost 8 of their last 10 games here, 3 games under 500. They're in 9th place, and we'll check in on Portland and the Clippers a little bit later in the program. But the open shots that they missed tonight, they created open looks here, Bully, but 10 of 43 from 3. That's just 23%. They were solid inside the three-point line, 26 of 47, 55%. But it's these open looks that you have to hit against teams like Boston, like Detroit, like Atlanta, who we'll see later on this road trip.
I would clarify these, Bonte, as being wide open.
Yep.
You couldn't get better shots than this if you spent all night long trying to draw plays up. So, I think the performance of the Warriors is undermined by the lack of efficiency from the field. They were great. Look, there's more than that. We just saw a few there. They're wide open shots. You knock some of them down. Coming into this game with the Celtics defense defending the two-point line and in the paint is so strong. Yep. And the fact that both teams rely 40% of their scoring comes from the three-point line. Those wide open shots, you got to make them. You have no chance to win on the road.
coming into this game, you thought the only way the Warriors are going to win is if they hit shots, especially from the three-point line. Wide open shots like that they're so important. For the Warriors, they only make 10 threes tonight. Problem is they take 43 threes. So if you're taking those shots, those possessions that you could, go make a play off of, get a layup off of, and they play so small that they have to make those threes. The Warriors, points in the paint, 44, 46. The Warriors got to make threes.
And they're the right shots to shoot. Yep. You don't want to pass up a wide open three and then dribble into a contested two. So it's just a matter of knocking them down.
What was the look of the Irish thing? What did I say? How do you say cheers because it's St. Patrick's Day yesterday? How do you say cheers? Slate? Slate. Didn't work for us tonight.
Well, St. Patrick's Day was yesterday. Most of the real Irish people are still in bed from yesterday with a big headache.
Kristaps Porzingis making his return to Boston. And, of course, it starts off with a video tribute to him as he helped the Celtics a couple seasons ago win a championship, playing in 3 of those 5 finals games. We all remember his game 1 against the Mavericks where he was lighting it up for the three-point line. And he got off to a great start. 2 blocked shots on the first possession. We scored 11 points, and he's another one who struggled with his shot tonight. As Boston, look, they sent doubles at him, triples at him. He could go ahead and pass over the defense there before 13. You want to see the efficiency a bit better, but credit Boston for their defense.
Yeah, you can see just in moments what Kristaps can bring to the floor. You see him defensively. He is at 7'2". He deters anybody from coming to the paint. And that's what you need a big man to do. His ability to have defense, he stopped people from getting layups. And the Warriors were making runs with him on the floor. Now, I think Steve Kerr is trying to figure out who he can play with. And he tried to see how he can make different lineups line up with him and Draymond. Kristaps and Draymond on the floor at the same time. He's trying to shuffle the guards around a little bit. And I think that's going to be a big key. He's trying to figure out what lineups are going to work best with him for him to have the space that he needs. And maybe some guys who are great cutters. And those are the things that the Warriors are trying to figure out right now.
I thought he moved really well. You mentioned the opening plays of the game. 2 blocks. He ran the floor. He looked really good physically. Obviously, he only played 22 minutes because of the score. Efficiency numbers were not there, but just watching him getting up and down the floor, the physicality, I think it was another step forward physically for him.
But the Warriors dropped this one to Boston 120-99. Again, they've lost 8 of their last 10 games. Pre-game presser. And we all need to see the chef back on the floor, so they will not shut him down. He wants to play. The Warriors need him back as they try to fight for this playoff positioning here. They want to get to that 7-8 line as they're in 9th place right now in the Western Conference, Fezzi.
Well, first off, you haven't seen Steph Curry on the court. I haven't seen that in a while, so that's very promising. To see him out there moving like that, getting some shots up, that feels like it's getting closer. Now it's starting to feel real because I feel like we've had some shot fakes here a couple of times. Like, all right, we're evaluating in 10 days, then another 10 days. So to see Steph on the floor is going to be important, but it's just as important how well the team is playing when he comes back. That's just as important as him coming back because you don't want to. The whole point of the knee injury is, you're dealing with some swelling, you're dealing with inflammation, you're dealing with stress. And you don't want to put even more stress on that because you worry about this short-term relief versus the long-term of Steph Curry and his health. He's so important to this team, important to what the future of this team looks like, that you want to figure out a way for this team to be functioning and firing on all cylinders so when he comes back, they can try to make a run together.
Yeah, Steph has managed so many different injuries on the course of his career, and no one comes back ready to play better than Steph Curry off injury. So I anticipate him being fresh, rested, and ready to go. And I agree with Festus, and I've been saying this consistently. The supporting group that's out there now, we watch those clips of those wide open shots. Yep. And we always talk about Steph's gravity, which is real. Okay, Steph Curry's not out there tonight without no gravity. They're getting wide open shots. When Steph steps on that floor, those shots are getting more wide open. So between now and the time he gets back, make sure you're working on knocking down wide open shots because they're going to be there.
Yep.
And the best thing you can do for Steph Curry to support him is to be aggressive and make the defense guard 5 guys. That's what he said about the Celtics. The one difference I see with that Celtics team, they look less predictable. Very similar offensive alignment, very similar philosophy, but it feels like a little, flash screen, just a little more activity, and all of a sudden it feels like 5 guys are engaged, and they're a much tougher team to defend. That's what the Warriors need to think about between now and the time Steph gets back. I see a lot of good signs, but shooting those balls, those wide open shots, That was the difference in the game tonight because they did everything. They played hard. The effort was there. But when he gets back, those shots may be more wide open if that's possible.
No doubt about that. They fall to 6-13 during the stretch without Stephen Curry as he's out with runner's knee. And they'll look to bounce back. You see the shooting percentages there. The three-point shot was just not there for the Dubs, 10 of 43 overall. And the Celtics averaged 12 turnovers per game. The Warriors were able to turn them over 16 times a night. But again, you have to hit shots to make or miss league, and they fall to the Celtics by 21 as Boston led by as many as 26 in this basketball game. Let's hear from head coach Steve Kerr on this loss presented by BMW.
Well, they made a couple threes, got it back to 12-13, whatever it was, and we never really were quite in the game. I thought we did a lot of things well offensively. Got a lot of good looks. It just was a night where shots didn't go down. I think we've got to be a lot better defensively. Some game plan mistakes early. A lot of fouling at the beginning of the third quarter got us in trouble. And what I'm most interested in right now is can we prepare ourselves for the play-in? We're going to be in the play-in. We know that. And one way or the other. So we got to prepare. We have to be prepared for when we get guys back, when Steph's back and Moses and Al. If we're prepared when they get back, we can do some damage. We can go on a run. But we can't have game plan mistakes. We've got to build better habits, boxing out, taking care of the ball in transition, being more efficient in transition, that sort of thing. Our guys are playing hard. I'm really proud of them. Like I said, shots didn't go tonight, but what I'm most interested in is our process, and I thought it was lacking in some areas tonight, and we've got to tighten some things up.
Tonight might not have been the best example, but do you feel like in the past few weeks you guys have been taking steps toward getting prepared for the play-in?
One step forward, one step back. I don't think we're there yet. I think it's going to take more than what we're showing right now. I think our guys are playing hard. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't have the firepower that we're missing right now, because it kind of feels like you have to be perfect. And it's a hard thing to play through 48 minutes where you don't have the shot making, the explosiveness to go on a huge run. So you're constantly having to do the right thing. So if we handle this the right way and we sharpen those things up, we can be finely tuned for the play-in. But like I said, the effort's there, but the execution's not yet.
How much have you kind of openly discussed that idea that, the play-in with your guys, and then also, is it an odd situation to be in, with more than a month to go, basically in the season, but you've known for a while, you maybe not know exactly what seed,
right,
but you kind of know you're not going down and not really going far out.
Yeah, we've had our eyes on 6 for a while, and that's out of the question now. We're not getting there. And so if we can string together some wins, try to get to 8, that'd be ideal, get 2 cracks at it. But we're not getting to 7. We know that. So I've been talking about this theme, not in such precise words like I just used, but over the last few weeks, I've been telling the guys we have to build our habits and be ready for when we get guys healthy again, and because then we can just really have the firepower that can be complemented by a foundation of good habits, good fundamentals. And like I said, I think there's a lot of stuff we can improve upon. But at the base of all that is your spirit, energy, confidence, and we got to work on that too.
What does building good habits look like, both on the court and also in preparation?
What does it mean?
What does it look like?
What does it look like? It means boxing out. It means don't give up back cuts. We gave up like 3 back cuts early on after we had a shoot around this morning, going through those very actions, and we completely messed up coverages 3 times in the first quarter. Cannot do that. Cannot happen. You want to win a playoff game, you better be locked in. So lock in. And part of locking in is not just the mental part of it, but it's the spiritual part. It's the emotion. How ready are you? How confident are you? How together